Hello everyone, welcome to WhiskyWars. These are my favourite whiskies that you can buy right now for less than £40. Now this is the second video in the series. Please check out my last video if you haven't already, where I go through my favourite whiskies for under £30. Now these can include any country in the world. I try to get a good selection of different regions, different countries. So hopefully there's something in here for all of you. Now these are based on UK prices as of today. I've gone online and I've found the prices and they are within that price bracket. Now most of these will be the RRP prices because I don't want to put in a whiskey that's on a 40% off sale and call it a £35 whiskey. It just doesn't feel quite right for me. So they're all between that £30 and £40 bracket. Now some of these may hit sales, even better, but I'm trying to keep it close to that RRP to give you as much value as I can. So if you're excited for the video, please leave a like on the video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That really helps the channel out, so really appreciate that, thank you. So kicking things off at number one, and these are in no particular order at all, by the way. I've not ranked them. If you are interested in seeing a ranking though, I'm going to record last videos under £30 and this video's under £40 and blind rank them from best to worst. So that could be something quite fun. Patreon members will be getting that video. And if you're interested in signing up to the Patreon, the link is in my about section of my YouTube page for those who are interested. If not, totally fine. Okay, let's kick it off. Number one. This is going to be a Highland Scotch whiskey. This whiskey is incredible. Incredible. Now, it's bottled at 46.3%. This is a Deanston, but it is their 10-year-old Bordeaux red wine cask finish. 46.3% non-chill filtered as well. I actually picked this whiskey up for £31 in travel retail in Manchester. So a really affordable whiskey. Now I do believe you can pick this up outside of travel retail for mid-30s, high 30s. Below £40 and well worth the money. I was blown away by this whiskey. I really enjoyed it. Now I have reviewed it on the channel before and I reviewed it against the Arran Port cask. This is a Ben Riach, but it's peated. This is the smoky 10-year. Now what I enjoyed about this whiskey was it has 3 cask maturations. Bourbon, rum and virgin oak. So something different. You would probably think it was going to be a sherry or a wine finish. No, rum and virgin oak. It gave me something I'm not used to, and I always appreciate a whiskey that does that. What I will say on this whiskey is the nose for me was spectacular and the taste was just good. It wasn't great. But for the nose, I'm putting it on this list because I really enjoyed it. Nonetheless, really good whiskey. And I picked this one up on offer for £28. Again, I'm not including offers, so it's in this section of the video. This second video, not the first one. And RRP is roughly that £35 mark. Okay, that's enough with Scotland for now. There are a few more Scotches, but let's go to America. Let's kick things off with a bourbon. Have to be honest, one of my favourite bourbons. Not because it blows your head off, not because it's really complex, but I just really enjoy the flavours. It's my casual relaxed sipper at the minute. I'm really into it. Now this is bottled at 45% ABV, it's 10 years of age. This is the Eagle Rare 10-year-old. So on this whiskey I get, in the addition of maybe your usual notes, which I won't talk about, I get a lovely bit of leather and a touch of chocolate. It's really nice. Yeah. So I did want to mention this one because it's actually one of my favourite whiskies. I'm really into it right now. This whiskey is commonly available in the UK for £32. You can pay as high as £36, but really you're in that £30 mark. That's the premise of this video. It firmly gets in. Next up we have a rye, and just before I mention this rye, guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, please don't forget to leave a like and click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Okay, the Bullet Rye, again 45% ABV. It's a high rye, it's a 95% rye on the mash bill, but this whiskey is a real guilty pleasure of mine. I really enjoy it, just for the sheer difference of what I'm getting in this liquid. I get green tea, a lot of green tea. I get a lot of herbs, bitter and fresh herbs. I get a little bit of cardamom. It's a really sweet green tea herbal whiskey, and it's very smooth and soft. I really enjoy it. The Bullet Rye, slept on, really slept on, but I'm a big fan. Now, I have seen online a few people doing reviews of the 12-year-old, but that's a really hard bottle to come across, and I think they only did it in 2019. Could be wrong on that. So it's a very rare one, but I'd love to get my hands on that, just because of how good this one is. Okay guys, back to Scotland. We're gonna go for a peaty finish now. Kicking things off with an island whiskey. It's peated, it's from the Tobermory distillery. It's natural colour, sorry, it's non-chill filtered, bottled at 46.3%. I don't know if it's natural colour or not. And I've got a selection for you guys because they both come under that £40 range. The Laphroaig 10-year or the Laphroaig Rioja cask. So, and that's a Spanish red wine finish. So really this comes down to personal preference. Do you prefer red fruit sweetness in your whiskey? If you do, the Rioja is going to suit you a lot more. Or do you prefer just your standard bourbon cask? Because the 10-year is exceptional. I think it's a little bit better than Rioja cask for my nose and my taste palette, but the Rioja cask is very, very good as well. Now, I recently mentioned in a video, I did the Rioja cask against the Laphroaig 9-year cask strength, which is a Bordeaux red wine cask, and I mentioned it was £32. This has always been £32. I paid £32 for it. It's been £32 for years, but recently it's not. I was totally taken by surprise. I apologise to the commenter as well. It's £40, as is this one. So they're both £40. So now, actually, they're not, this was 36, this was 32. They're no longer as value, well, they're still very value for money, but they're no longer as exceptional as they were. Nonetheless, they're both £40. They both get in the Laphroaigs, definitely. Okay, now we go to Islay for some strong peat, and we have two very different whiskies. I'm gonna leave one last, because actually that's gonna be my #1 choice. I know I said I wasn't ranking them, but it's truly special. I've got to let you all know about it. But first off, let's kick things off with one of my favourite whiskey distilleries of all time, Laphroaig, and this is their quarter cask expression. Bottled at 48% ABV, this whiskey is finished in quarter casks. And what it does to this whiskey is just impart such a strong wood characteristic, but it doesn't make it wood spicy, which I love, because for me actually, I'm not a big fan of wood spice. This doesn't give you that. It gives you strong wood, but it's almost like a mahogany wood. It imparts beautiful flavour on the whiskey. One of my favourite Laphroaigs of any price, so it clearly gets the nod for this video. Okay, finally guys, I did say this was my #1 choice, and it is. We have a £32 bottle of whiskey. Now, it has been as high as £36, but it's still within that £30 range. I think it's exceptional value for money, I really do. I was recently in Germany and I saw this for €32, which is about £27.50. Amazing. This is 5 years of age, Oloroso sherry cask finished, bottled at 47.4% ABV. It's the Ardbeg We Beastie. Now this bottle unfortunately is empty. I should have picked up another in Germany, but I just couldn't. But what a whiskey this is. Non-chill filtered as well. Everything that you love about Ardbeg, with a little bit of fruit. It's not too much. It's not a sherry bomb. It just gives it imparts a little bit of sweetness onto an Ardbeg. So very peaty, earthy, salty, smoky, but a little bit of sweetness in there. And actually, for me, I get a lovely cookie dough note. Think of Ben & Jerry's cookie dough with the vanilla ice cream and that little bit of chocolate. Incredible whiskey. So yeah, have to talk about that one, absolutely. Okay guys, these are my favourite whiskies at the moment under £40 as of right now, today. This is the second video in the series. If you like this video, please drop a like down below and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to check out my previous video of my favourite whiskies under £30, the first of this series, please do so. I really recommend it. There's some great whiskies on there. Next up, I'll do my £50 series for my third video. If any of you would like to see me rank these blind from the £30 series, the £40 and the £50 that I'll record, please check out my Patreon page. I'm going to be uploading those videos there shortly. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video and I hope to see you all for the next Whiskey War.